Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Wednesday, 2nd February, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Leroy Chapman features in record run, and in our feature for this evening, we give a listen to sports analyst Frankie Claxton as he speaks out on West Indies cricket. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Joanne Fleming, and I'm a lawyer here at Myrna R. Walwyn and Associates. Sometimes trying to exercise and eat healthy can be challenging, especially when you work a 9-to-5 job. However, starting my fit journey has been one of the best decisions I've made. I now have increased levels of energy that last me throughout the day, and exercise is a great way to reduce stress and anxiety. So, if you've started your fit journey, stick with it. And if you haven't, come join us. And remember, fit is beautiful.
Well, I'm back, and we start with some pretty good news in athletics. The number 16 ranked Monroe College Mustangs men's indoor track and field team saw a program record get smashed on Friday last at the John Thomas Terrier Classic hosted by Boston University. The Mustangs' distance medley relay record was shattered by the foursome of Kareem Belmardi, Leroy Chapman of Nevis, Prince Makebilo, and Moholawa Kuz Molutsi on Friday. The previous record of 10.08.17 set back in 2014 was surpassed by nearly 7 seconds as the 2022 Mustangs ran a time of 10.01.41. In the race, Belmardi ran 3.07.52 in the 1200 meters first leg. Chapman, that's Leroy of course, ran 50.24 seconds in the 400 meters second leg, and Macabello clocked in at 1.53.14 in the 800 meters third leg, and Molutsi finished the anchor leg with a mile of 4.10.51. Molutsi's time was the fastest anchor leg of the DMR in Monroe College's history. And so we say congratulations to Leroy Chapman. We look forward to much more success for the young man. Now to cricket. On Sunday, 30th January, the Empire team engaged the Highlights International 2 team at the E.T. Willett Park as the T20 tournament in honor of Harvey Stapleton and hosted by the Nevis Cricket Association continued. Highlights 2 batted first and scored a challenging 147, with Rashid Eddy getting an impressive 75 runs. However, the Empire team virtually cruised home to victory on the back of an outstanding half-century by Andrew Brown and good supporting acts from Jelani Manners and Rashad Ford. Summary scores: Highlights International 2, 147 for 5 in 18 overs, Rashid Eddy 75, Virgil Brown 38, Ryan Solomon picked up 2 for 15, and T1 Prentice 2 for 38. Empire 148 for 3 in 16 overs, Andre Brown 56, Jelani Manners 30, Richard Ford 24. A. Jones and L. Brown picked up 1 wicket each. Empire won by 7 wickets. And in Under-19 World Cup action, the first semi-final between 2 sets of nervous teenagers had it all. Broken stumps, dropped catches, run-outs, 6 hitting cameos, a 5-ball over, and a catch off a no-ball. England, though, held their nerve, and despite all their errors, crossed the line to reach the first Under-19 World Cup final in 24 years. Afghanistan, chasing a spot in their very first ICC World Cup final, lost out in key moments. After having England 6 down for only 136, Afghanistan could not finish well with the ball, conceding 95 in the last 12 overs. Then 2 of their top 4 batters were out for ducks in a chase of 231. But late in the contest, Afghanistan were offered a backdoor pass into the match when England seamer James Sales had a horrific start to the 44th over. At that stage, Afghanistan needed all of 43 in 4 overs, but Sales conceded 10 runs courtesy of 2 no-balls, the first of which also cost him a wicket, before delivering a legal ball, and by the end of the over, the equation was down to 23 needed from just 18 balls. However, left-arm seamer Joshua Boyden bowled a tight 45th, and leg spinner Rehan Ahmed took 3 wickets in the 46th to book England's spots in Saturday's finals against India or Australia. Summarized scores: England 231 for 6, Bell 56 not out, Horton 53 not out, Thomas 50. Noah picked up 2 for 32. Beat Afghanistan 215 for 9, Allah 60, Ishaq 43. Rehan picked up 4 for 41, and so England won by 15 runs in the Duckworth-Lewis method. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening. Well, I'm back, and tonight cricket is in the spotlight. We take in this interview with sports analyst Frankie Claxton as he speaks candidly about West Indies cricket.
Now, whenever celebrities arrive in Nevis, we are supposed to give them their due. And so when Frankie Claxton is in Nevis, I try to get him back into his old rocking chair, talking sports. We know him as a well-known sports analyst, well, a sportsman generally first, and then a sports analyst before he went off to Anguilla. Frankie, first of all, maybe it's wrong to say, but welcome back to Nevis.
Thank you, Curtis. I got a wonderful tour coming through Gingerland, my second tour of the week.
Yeah. Well, Frankie, West Indies cricket is prominent at this point in time. So let's start with the seniors first. We had an exciting one-day match recently. Holder picking up 4 wickets in 4 balls. West Indies winning the series against England 3-2. Your thoughts on the current West Indies team?
Well, the current West Indies setup is one that is in a building stage. And I'll jump back to say that had they used the opportunity to make changes when they went to Ireland, before they went to the England tour, when they went to the World Cup, and they had the extras there, had they made changes, we would have been in those winning ways long time ago. But it stayed too long. I don't know why the people were afraid to make changes. We had 3 tours in the Caribbean, Curtis, and we did not make the kind of changes you saw here in a 5-match series. And we had 3 sets of tours on home turf, and we did not venture to make those changes. Had we dealt with that at that time, we would have had that 3rd World Cup. I can tell you that. But I was impressed with the last match especially. The other matches were ins and outs, nail-biting by small margins, 1 or 2 by a larger margin or so. But this one really, brought back cricket to me as it was played in days gone by. The guys were into it, and they really, really went out to win it.
Do you believe that a lot of the results is due to the change in the selection panel led now by Mr. Haynes?
That is a big plus. But those youngsters, Curtis, as you would have recognized from the CPL, the Smiths, the Shepherds, we did not have the Hetmeyers and the Rutherfords, but there were other youngsters who had been shining their light and were given this opportunity, and most of them tell themselves, I'm going to use it as much as possible. So it's a double plus. The positivity coming from 2 West Indian players who were outstanding in their time, bringing that into the selection policy. And number 2, I'm sure they got a word in to talk to the guys whom they selected. And I think that would have ignited those young fellas who had been performing. Some of them didn't get a chance when the World Cup was around and other tours, and they took their opportunity well.
Now, there are 2 sides to every story, and some people say more than 2. There was a little bit of a rumor going around that there was some kind of dispute within the camp. That has been fiercely denied by Coach Simmons. What are your thoughts? What have you heard?
Curtis, we cover up too much in the Caribbean. And it isn't now. Even when we went to World Cup, there are cover-ups we had prior to that. So I'm not surprised that there was bickerings inside there. There were. But they're going to want to make themselves look good. And especially now because we have won, and what Captain Pollard said at the end, that empty barrels, I am so disappointed with that statement. Because he knew that he had been faltering. And he knew that his leadership was being questioned. Phil Simmons has never given a smile. Whether down or up, you look at Phil Simmons, stone cold face. You look at matches around the places where we have tours, where touring teams come. Look at the managers and the coaches. They are into the game. Yes, you mess up, you'll see them gesticulating. Yes, something good happened, you'll see them gesticulating happily. Especially the coach there from Ireland the other day. You know, and some of the other coaches in the last 3 tours we had, you could see it. Simmons sits in one spot with a stone cold face, which I'm very disappointed with him when it comes to that. So you get no kind of feeling. How could you have had a dressing room being dealt with prior to this series with him with that kind of attitude? I am disappointed in him. I'm disappointed in Pollard. They denied that they had infractions inside there and disputes. There were. But as a typical West Indian, they tried to cover up. Thank God we won.
What about going forward? We'll be heading down to India, and they would have basically named an unchanged team. But India, the opposition, India, your thoughts?
Best team in the world. And it is not going to be a walkover. They are going to be in for a rude awakening. We can't place up and down, in and out, feel like or don't feel like cricket against India. They're going to swamp us. And India is out for revenge. They just lost to South Africa. Remember they lost the other day, and then they came back and made some winnings. And coming off of a losing tour, win the test and the one days, England is going to take India is going to take sweet revenge on us. So we can't afford to go there to play catty. They ain't going to play no cat and mouse with us. It is serious business. It will not be business as usual. And so they've got to make up their mind as to the combinations that they want to use. I still don't understand why they're fighting with Bravo, to tell you the truth. I still don't understand. I don't know if Hetmeyer is still unfit, because that has been the call all the time. Rutherford is playing cricket, so if you need a lefty, a good lefty is there. What has gone wrong with I think it's Shamar Brooks? Yeah, they brought in Bonner, and Shamar Brooks is there. I don't understand. There are 1 or 2 things that they always do off. Bravo should be sitting down home, cleaning his garden and walking it. He should not be on a West Indies team, none whatsoever.
I don't know if you heard it, but I think somebody was whispering that Bravo might be called in as the captain for the test team. Did you ever hear something like that?
That's ignorance. That's ignorance. West Indies cricket will go to the dogs, not Darren Bravo.
Okay. All right. So, in terms of the senior team, based on the last match, you think that we have some hopes?
There is. I always felt that there was hope when I saw the delivery of Smith in the last 2 years. Shepherd has come on stronger than ever, like Elimat would say. And you had the Rutherfords and the Hetmeyers and the Dominic Drakes, right? You had all these youngsters coming through. Pooran up and down. All the others up and down. You still carry Lendell Simmons. I don't understand why they just do these things. No, Mayers is showing up himself as an opener, which he did sometime before. Okay? Are you going to keep Mayers when Lewis comes back in, so that at least you have a triangle of players that you can rotate? Either have them 1, 2, 3, or at least you have 2 for sure, and you rotate them accordingly. I do not know. Sometimes you want to think like the selectors and feel that you got it right. Next thing, they're doing a different thinking. But I believe the positivity will come out with these 2. And as Desmond Haynes said, he's going to broaden the span of players, which gives you a better choice. And if they had been doing the same combinations here and there in those 3 games, what does the West Indies board owe Gale? That they don't owe to Lara, that they don't owe to Shandapal, that they don't owe to Viv Richards. What do they owe him?
And as you mentioned, Evan Lewis, I was wondering, I didn't hear it. Was he injured? I just I'm not hearing.
He was carrying an injury,
Okay.
and it seemed prolonged. I don't understand why, because to me, fitness is a big key to your game. That's your work. And for far too long, our players have been carrying injuries. They either hide them, and then they play them, and it gets worse. And then that is what happened to him. It happened to Pollard. Pollard's injuries were being hidden down here in the toes before they went to the World Cup. We have to call a spade a spade. When you are not fit, you should not play. You can't take half-baked players into a tournament. And that is what we did the last couple of series, the World Cup. My goodness, thank God that Bangladesh slipped up, else they would have come home lying down on the ground. Right? Now we've gone back into playoffs. And that is a disgrace.
Yep.
Big disgrace to our cricket for the kind of talent that we have around. So here's hoping that they start getting it right. This series has shown some glimpses of hope. Let us see if, because some people say, oh, they turned the corner. We ain't reached not even the corner yet to think about turning it. So we have to be positive in our outlook towards the game. Give the youngsters a fair chance. Give them a fair chance. Just don't give them a game today. Next thing tomorrow they're not playing for what unknown reason, and they would have made some runs or taken some wickets. Look what they were doing to Smith. Smith can bat better than Bravo as far as I'm concerned. Shepherd is a quality batsman. They will be called all-rounders, which is good, right? Now Holder is starting to show his true colours once again, because I was disappointed with him leading into the last series that we had. You know, the IPL has helped him, shaped him up a lot. The Big Bash or whatever else here he went to has helped him a lot, and he's getting more into his game. But Holder has to be careful, because it looks, again, that his ego is bringing a chip back on his shoulder, and he's got to be careful.
Okay, thank you, Frankie.
Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.